What's going on, everybody? It's Brandon Dawson back again for another edition of WJBF Digital, and it is an exciting day today because I have a guy here who does a lot of great work in Lincoln County and around the community, the owner of Back Paddle Brewing, Kyle McLeod. How are you doing today, sir?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good, and before we get started, I just got to say I'm excited because today is actually your birthday.
Yes, thank you.
Well, happy birthday.
Appreciate it.
Kyle and I have, done a lot of interviews over the past couple of years, and I feel like we've come full circle now, getting a chance here to talk about everything that you do around the community, and, I feel like we've just come full circle here today.
Oh, yeah, it's great. I love being here.
All right, well, first and foremost, I want to ask you is, and, we've done this question several times, but let's go ahead and knock it out. Just in case anybody's seeing you for the first time, what is Back Paddle Brewing?
Sure. Back Paddle Brewing is a small batch craft brewery with a farm-to-table flair with our food in the heart of the area's lake region.
And so, that's Lincoln County. Talk to me a little bit about Lincoln County, for those people who don't know.
Lincoln County, I like to say it's kind of on the hinterlands of the CSRA. It's right there on the edge, but it's right on the edge of Clarksville Lake. 70,000 acres, a huge tourist area. Still pretty rural, but we love it out there.
Now, Back Paddle Brewing, how did your business get started? How long have you guys been there?
We've been there 3 years in October.
Been 3 years in October?
Yes, sir.
And so how did the idea come about? How did you guys, decide, we're going to open up this brewery out here in Lincoln County? How did that all come about?
So for a long time, I've had an interest in starting a brewery. At the time, the laws weren't really consistent with being able to do one on this end of the CSRA. We made a couple phone calls out to Lincoln County, and they've welcomed us with open arms.
Very nice. Now, let's fast forward a little bit to now. You guys have actually received a lot of awards, a lot of recognition. Let's talk a little bit about that, some of the accolades that you guys have gotten.
Sure. 2 years in a row, and we're fingers crossed. We have 3 days left of voting for Augusta Magazine. We won Augusta Magazine's Best Music Bar. We've been runner-up for a myriad of their categories in Augusta Magazine. I personally was...
Is what, 40 under 40?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I know.
Sorry. I was presented with Georgia Trend Magazine's 40 under 40 last year.
How did it make you feel to win that?
It was fantastic. And it took me by surprise. We don't do any of the things that we do for the awards, but it's sure awesome to get them.
That was actually when we first started talking about doing a story on you. That's what I was able to kind of point out to people was that, look, there's a lot of stuff going on out here. They're getting these awards. He just got 40 under 40. And people were just like, I didn't know that all this was going on out there. And so then I came out there myself and I saw, wow, you guys really got a special thing going on out there. So congratulations on that.
I appreciate it.
You guys have done a lot. Now, for you guys, the main thing that I like about Back Paddle Brewing, is that, the community is really important to you guys' business. So, in your opinion, how important is the community to Back Paddle Brewing?
The community is the most important part of Back Paddle Brewing. Traditionally, breweries are known to support their communities and help bring up their communities, and we figured even though we were going out to the rural area, the CSRA, we were going to be the same. And even though we're one of the smallest breweries, probably in the state of Georgia, we were still going to support our community the best we could.
And so, how important would you say your customers are to your business?
Oh, the customers are the business. The customers in the community, if we didn't have them, Back Paddle Brewing wouldn't exist.
Very nice, very nice. Now, let's talk a little bit about your Beer for Good fund that you guys do. We talked about you guys do a lot in the community, but let's talk about getting into some of the specifics on it. You guys have this fund, you raise money. What kind of stuff do you guys do, and what do you put back into the community?
Yeah, so the Beer for Good program is something we borrowed from our friends at South Bend Brew Works in South Bend, Indiana. They allowed us to use it and modify it. And what we do is 25 cents from every single beer we sell goes into our fund. At the end of the quarter, we pick a local nonprofit and we donate some of that money to them. We also keep some of it because we run programs every November. We give away turkeys to our community, free turkeys to the community in downtown Lincolnton. And then we try to host different events, pet adoptions, things like that.
Very nice.
Yeah, and that's where that money goes.
And so how does that make you feel to be able to, that, your business is able to, help you give back to the community?
Oh, I absolutely love it. It helps keep us driving forward, I think.
Very nice, very nice. Now let's talk about the Beer for Good Festival. You know, this was something that just happened. You know, you've done it, what, 2 years in a row now, right?
We've done it 2 years. It's grown both years. First year we probably had 200 or 300 people in our parking lot. This year we had over 1,200 people, and we hosted at the American Legion Post in Lincoln County.
And you guys had a big headliner. Let's talk about it.
We had a big headliner. We had local star Ray Fulcher out there, and it was a great time, as well as 6 other local acts.
So how does that make you feel? You know that this festival started off, in your parking lot. You know, you get it out, and it's a year later, and you got Ray Fulcher out there, big crowd. How's that make you feel?
Oh, it makes me feel amazing. You know, it's a lot of work put in by our team, but at the end of the day, it was worth it to see that crowd of local folks out there, and we're already planning 2024 as well.
I was looking on the internet and I saw you post something about the Dad Bod Calendar. Real quick, let's talk a little bit about what that is.
So the Dad Bod Calendar came from a team meeting we had. Our team is very inspired by folks like Jesse Cole with the Savannah Bananas and folks who are doing crazy things to bring entertainment to their guests and their customers. And during our meeting, we said, what is the craziest thing we could do to drive customers to Backpedal Brewing, but then utilize that to springboard it into our Beer for Good program. And from that came the Dad Bod Calendar.
And so, you posted it, I did an article on it, and it blew up. Talk to me a little bit about the response that you got from the community, and did you expect that?
I did not. I expected a few dozen folks would get a chuckle out of it and submit pictures, and then there would be, a quick, easy process, a week or two, and we'd have this thing to print. We might make a little bit of money off of it. After you ran your article, it absolutely blew up. I think there were over 600 shares just on the news station's social media page. Our social media blew up, and we had hundreds of submissions.
Wow. And so, what does that feel like, to have something that you're like, we'll just do this just to be fun, to all of a sudden you're getting boxes and emails of people sending you photos?
It takes your breath away a little bit. We never expected this to take off the way it did. And to see every day dozens of emails and hundreds of pictures show up it feels good. It feels good when something goes right.
Well, speaking of take your breath away, we're going to pull up and take a look at some of the winners now, because you guys are getting ready to drop this thing, correct?
We are, yeah. It's being released June 15th. Keep an eye on our Facebook and social media, and on our website where we'll have pre-sales.
Now, talk to me a little bit about, I'm looking at some of these guys. How did you guys choose, who won? You had 600 people, how did they make the cut? Who were the judges?
So the judges happen to be the ladies of Backpedal Brewing. We have a very strong group of ladies who help us run the business. They got together, they sipped some wine outside of the brewery, and went through the pictures one by one, ranked them, and then went down through the rankings. Now, there were so many, we did decide that instead of doing a regular 12-month calendar, this is a 16-month calendar.
Wow, so look at that. So there were so many great dad bods that you guys had to extend the calendar.
We did.
That is absolutely impressive. Anything you want to say to all these guys, for submitting? Because the main thing is that this is all for a good cause. It's fun,
right,
but it's for a good cause. So anything you want to say to all the guys, even if they didn't make the cut?
Hey, try it again next year. There will be a next year, I think. Keep submitting them when you guys see that advert come up. Don't get too discouraged. Again, there were hundreds. Next year, if you're going to submit, take a little bit of time. Put together some great photos. Not that we didn't enjoy the selfies, but some of them just didn't make the quality cut.
So again, we're just going to run through this again. So if people are trying to get this calendar, it's dropping. Where do they go? What do they do?
So we're going to make the announcement tomorrow morning on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Backpedal Brewing, and then you'll be able to buy pre-sale calendars on our Facebook or on our website, which is backpedalbrewing.beer, BEER.
Very nice. And, on there, you'll also have, we'll leave a link in the article. You'll have the winners,
Yes.
the calendar on how to get it. This has been an exciting time. It's so congratulations, because this has been one of the craziest things that I've seen. I put the article up just to help out, and then when I saw it, I had people calling me about it, trying to ask me, how can I get a submission in, or can you put in a good word? And I was like, I am not one of the judges. I am not. This is all up to Kyle McLeod and his crack team of judge panels and all that.
Yeah, and they are a very well-trained team of dad bod judges.
Wow. All right, well, Kyle, thank you very much for coming out here, talking about it. Dad Bod Calendar coming out. If you guys are trying to find it, we got a link in the article where you can find all the info, see all the winners, and to the winners, congratulations. Until next time, this is Brandon Dawson, WJBF News Channel 6.